Yeah, man, y'all know what it is. It's your favorite Packers podcast, man. It's me doing this solo bolo tonight or today, but we got my favorite Bears fan, Ian. What's up with it, man?
It's all good. I have to come on a Packers show because I know how extremely biased you're going to be. So I kind of have to level out that bias. I got to bring back to some
Oh, that's
reality.
what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be so biased. You can talk about the Packers. You can talk about how
I
great they
mean,
are. I mean, that it just is what it is, right? It's a Packers show. I understand. You're going to hype yourself up. I just want to bring you back down to reality for a little bit.
but should I not be though? I mean, it's been one sided this whole time for a while, so why not?
Look, you can have your fandom and all, but just don't be overly biased. That's all I got to ask.
I mean, being realistic is if being realistic is being biased. I don't know what to say, man.
Being realistic is you're gonna be on that couch at the first round of the playoffs. But let's not go there.
Like like Rashad say, I say you only got to be the best team that day. You ain't got to be the best team for the whole year. You just got to be the best team that day. So we got a chance, but we'll talk about it in a little bit. So we can go give your thoughts about the Packers and the Vikings game last week. No, it's kind of old, but give us your thoughts since you was a Bears fan and you watched it.
Oh, it was a great game. It was a fantastic game to watch. You saw a Minnesota Vikings team. They're heading on to Detroit. I should call them what I call them, off air, but I'm gonna be professional. But when it comes to Detroit, Minnesota, that's gonna be one fantastic matchup. But getting back to what Green Bay and Minnesota was, Minnesota showed why Green Bay is not the second best team in the NFC North. They're not the best team in the NFC North. They are the third best team in the NFC North, and Minnesota showed it. I mean, you just did not live up to par, and they showed you for 60 minutes why they are better than you. So,
So you definitely dislike us more than you dislike any other NFC. I mean NFC North team.
nah, nah, there's one team that's wayward.
Okay, I just checking. I was just checking. But you like the I ain't gonna say you like them, but you dislike us more than the Vikings, huh?
What's crazy is, and I've had to explain this to Packers fans and Lions fans. I'm neutral on Minnesota. Like, I really have no love or hate for Minnesota. They just exist.
Yeah, I
Detroit,
don't.
Green Bay, I hate with a passion. Like, as a Bears fan, I hate Detroit and I hate Green Bay. Minnesota, I'm cool. Like, I'm just kind of neutral. Like, they just exist. So,
Now I get the hate for Green Bay, but I get it. For me, it was the tale of two halves, like it's always been for probably like 80% of this year. One half we look lost, slow start, flat. Second half we come out lighting it up. You know what I mean? And those usually been the games against the better teams. And we've played that against weaker teams that we come out and won. But when you play it that way against Detroit, Philadelphia, and the Vikings, you see we still lose. So we definitely can't come out flat. I mean that's what we did. Things that I did like was I don't know. I think what Josh Jacobs fumbled. Edgerrin Cooper, you know what I'm saying? He's been lighting it up since he's been starting. Um, our third string cornerback, Valentine, he's been doing some good things. Yeah, it's not a lot that I took away
yeah.
from that game. Coaching, we got out coached. Because he said he didn't think that Minnesota was going to play that much man. But to me, okay, if they play that man, you should have you could adjust. He said he couldn't adjust on time. To me, that was dumb. Like, why even admit that? Just be like they outplayed you, saying that you couldn't adjust in time. So it was just weird. Matt LaFleur, he's a good coach though, but sometimes he gets a little bit ahead of himself. So
He's good, but he's not great. I put him
yeah,
in that
yeah. I
good.
mean, he's in that in between. I guess if it's three tiers, I think he'll be two. But yeah, I don't know. He's not consistent. He's good though, but we'll see.
All
So
right.
we can go to our game, man. Of course, we know it's not a real rivalry because it's just not. You know what I mean? I don't know when the last time y'all beat us. So, but
No, it was 2018. That's the last time.
yeah, oh, yeah, that's pretty far away. But go ahead, man. Say what you got to say about this game. We could get into it.
So what's going to be said is that if Green Bay is smart, and I know that's a hard thing to say, but if Green Bay is smart, you're going to bench your starters, you're going to put in your second string, you're going to put in your backups, get ready for the playoffs, get well rested, and you have the Packers versus Bears. You're going to see a Bears team which really has nothing to gain. All right, you already have a top 10 pick in the draft. All right, you pretty much already are looking forward to 2025. So you have one team that's looking forward to a playoff run. You got one team that's looking forward to a good pick in the draft. So, regardless of who wins Week 18, there's really no win-win. If Chicago finds a way to win, and I'm not saying they're going to, but if Chicago somehow escapes and wins this game, then hey, good for them. But Green Bay, you're already pretty much in the playoffs. You're already looking forward to LA or Tampa Bay next week. You know what's going to happen. If Green Bay wins, hey, Chicago fans, we've been seeing this for the last 15 years. This is, rinse and repeat, right? We've seen this already. So I don't see a win-win here. I could see some lose-lose situation of somebody that does get injured. That is a big factor to the Green Bay team moving forward to the playoffs. That could be a concern there. But nah, I really don't see any way that winning this game is going to impact someone good or not. So
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, I think the thing is we're gonna play our starters, but if anybody is hurt, has been hurt, like this week, I got hurt in the last game, they're not playing. So I don't think they say Christian Watson is questionable, but I'll be surprised if he does play. But anybody else like Quay Walker, Evan Williams, and some other players starters that were hurt. They're not playing in this game. Jair just got put on injured reserve. They said he can come back if we make the playoffs. So, hey, that's a big if. This game, I mean, I'm glad the starters are playing. You know what I mean? Like I'm really glad the starters are playing because after, I mean, they could play for at least a half, and then after that, take them out because of the injury problem. But I still think we winning. It's not too much like this is just bragging rights, man. What up? What up, Seven Straw? Go sports, nah, go Packers. Let's go, Pack go.
hey, GFC. Hey, how's it going?
Let's go, Pack go. Hey GFC, hit that like button, you know what I'm saying? And tell your brother to subscribe if you with your brother right now. But yeah, man, it's just because you said what 2018 the last time y'all beat us?
It's been a
So
minute. So you've won 10 in a row. Yeah.
yeah, so like I said, this is bragging rights. It'll hurt if we lose to y'all, but like you said, like I just want to win enough to go to the playoffs, and that's what we did. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to end the season losing the game, but I appreciate you. Um, but if we do, you know what I'm saying? Like we got a game next week, tighten up, um, and then go from there. I think is Brisker playing? That's the only really dude that I kind of know like that.
So when it comes to Chicago Bears and when it comes to injuries and stuff like that, now Brisker, it is questionable. I think that it is 50-50. It kind of depends on what happens game time.
Well, I know your one of your linemen is not playing. Jenkins, I think. I forgot.
So Tevin Jenkins, he's been dealing with a certain injury for a while. Yeah. And when it comes to Chicago Bears organization, looking at Green Bay and really what happened last time Green Bay and Chicago faced off and how they lost that game. I mean, your defensive tackle getting his hand up in there and blocking that field goal. There's going to be some motivation by Chicago because they do kind of want to end the season on a high note. But overall, I look at Green Bay, your injuries, you do have some concerns, especially on defense. Your defense, you do have some injuries there. But with Chicago, overall, they got some depth injuries, but really no major ones.
Yeah, like with Green Bay, the injuries, like we're good enough to beat bad teams,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not, you know what I'm saying, with the injuries, but to beat the elite teams, definitely. I mean, we haven't shown it. I think we can because if we play, like, if we don't play two halves of football, we just play the half of football where we're lights out, we could beat any team, but we haven't done it yet. GSC said her brother just said the Bears are horrible. It ain't no shots fired, man.
I
He
mean,
know
it's not shot fired if it's reality. So
his reality. They trash though. He terrible is a good thing. I
I
don't
mean,
you know what I'm saying. So
look, look, GFC, your brother, he said that the Packers are losing in the first round. Those aren't shots. That's just reality. So
we're not losing in the first round. How about that? We're
I
not
mean,
losing in the first
we could
round.
put
We're
we could
beating.
put a
We're
wager
beating
here on.
Philadelphia. We beating
Hey,
you. We beating Philadelphia like we beating you. How
hey,
about
hey,
that?
hey, hey, stay packing this podcast right here. We can make a wager right here, right now. You ain't making it out the first round. You're
We
not.
making it out the first round, man.
No, you're
Well,
not.
let me see. If we don't get nobody hurt, I gotta see after this game. If we come out this game injury free, we going and we get people back that's already
Only
out.
way I see you making out the first round is if Jalen Hurts is not playing. If that concussion is so severe that he is not playing in the first round, and you got to go up against picking fences, Kenny Pickett, maybe you have a chance.
I'd rather go against Jalen Hurts. We'll beat Jalen Hurts. Kenny Pickett. I don't like us playing against backup quarterbacks. For some reason, they just I don't know. I'd rather play against a starter. Pickett is trash. Jalen Hurts. I don't know, man. I want my revenge with Jalen Hurts. So we got who's your X factor? We'll give two on offense, two on defense. Which
So X Factor, two on
for both
offense.
teams, Bears and Packers.
Now, for the Chicago Bears organization, the X factor on offense is going to be DeAndre Swift. Because if you can establish the run game, and especially in Lambeau Field, if you can establish a running game and really kind of like get that stuff going, then it's going to lead the tempo for the entire game all night long, all game long. That's going to be the type of situation there. So overall, DeAndre Swift, he's going to be a huge X factor for the Chicago Bears. But I also want to point out that Darnell Wright is an X factor as well. He's a young offensive tackle, someone who's been kind of building up reps all year long. And I feel like when it comes to Chicago Bears organization, the offensive line, it hasn't been great. It hasn't been phenomenal. However, you still have to build that up. So that's the two X factors on offense, Wright and Swift. And then defensively, you need TJ Edwards to keep on doing what he's been doing the last couple of weeks. He's one of the only notable players on defense who actually has been doing his job. And as long as TJ Edwards is doing tackles and getting, to the quarterback at time, but his coverage skills as well is vital. So TJ Edwards, he's going to be an X factor on defense. And then Jalen Johnson, who is one of the top 10 corners in the NFL. He is a all-pro-esque corner for the Chicago Bears. And him going up against the best receiver on the Green Bay Packers, they're going to have to see if Jalen Johnson can do what he has done for the majority of the year, and that is kind of keep the Bears close when it comes to the passing game.
So who would that be? Best receiver.
So for a while, I was saying it was Jaden Reed, but Christian Watson, he has been doing it for a little bit. You have Jaden Reed. I mean, there is receivers, but what I actually will respect about Green Bay is that you don't have definitive number one. You have like three number twos that develop into number one, but you don't have a true number one.
But with yeah, number one receiver to me is I don't we don't have one, you know what I'm saying? But I think Romeo Dobbs is our number one receiver. He's not the most talented receiver, but he's the most consistent. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like Jaden Reed at the beginning of the season was lights out. Then he just faded off, you know what I'm saying? Then he'll have a good game and then he just really a roller coaster. Christian Watson can be that, but he just doesn't stay healthy enough. Um Wicks,
Mm-hmm.
he showed promise last year, and this year couldn't he can't catch. Everybody's saying that it's the Devontae Adams thing. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that was Devontae Adams. He showed promise his first year, second year he was trash. He couldn't catch the ball. So hopefully that is the case for Wicks. But as of right now, all these, but the last three that I named are more talented than Romeo Dobbs. But Romeo Dobbs in the clutch is good. You know what I mean? Like and that's Jordan Love's favorite receiver. Like I said, he's not the most talented receiver we got. But let's say my X factors on defense definitely has to be Edgerrin Cooper. Um, he's the best player on our defense. When oh no, because McKinney is back there. Um, but I'll say Edgerrin Cooper and Devondre Wyatt. I think DeAndre Wyatt, he's coming back. So you got to set that tone on the line. You got to put some pressure up the middle against y'all because Kenny Clark, man, I'm done with Kenny Clark, man. He showed promise. I don't know if it's because we switched mostly to the 4-4-3, but I want Wyatt. I think Wyatt got to set the tone in the middle on the line, and then Edgerrin Cooper. On offense, it definitely has to be I'm on Tucker Craft. That's my favorite Packer right now. Tucker Craft, the tight end, and then it's just the whole offensive line. They played a little shaky against the Vikings. Those were when the Vikings got pressure on like some third downs and some stuff like that. That's when Jordan Love, you know what I'm saying? Like we couldn't. They got some pressure at the right times. Some timely pressures against Love. So if our offensive line could hold up against y'all defensive line, I don't know how good y'all defensive line is now, but if we could hold up against y'all when y'all blitz and stuff like that, I don't know if y'all blitz a lot. Um, I think we all know Josh Jacobs, but I don't even know if they gonna play him like that.
It's above average. It's an above.
With your offensive line, I mean your defensive line. Yeah, if your defensive line gets some pressure on us, it could be a long day.
I would say kind of 15.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but other than that, I really think that we could definitely beat y'all. Like I said, like with the injuries we have now, we're good enough to beat y'all. I mean, y'all made it closer than what I thought the first game because um Caleb Williams was just moving. You know what I mean? He was moving around more, rushing more, and we couldn't adjust. Just like Matt LaFleur said last game, it took him a minute to adjust, and then I don't know, man. He just gotta do more in-game adjustments if the other team does stuff different. But I don't know. Like if Caleb mobile quarterbacks give us some trouble, and Caleb Williams definitely gave us some trouble last game. So y'all got some good offensive players. So hopefully we keep them intact. 'Cause I know y'all want to win this game. Now I ain't gonna say more than us because I know we want to win on the. I mean we want to go out on the uh, winning the game, but we'll see. But go ahead, give your
It's good
last
for
thoughts.
morale. Yeah, especially anytime you can beat a rival, regardless. Yeah.
Wait, go ahead. I didn't hear you. You cut out that first. You said it's good for morale and what else?
So anytime you go, yeah, it's good for morale. Rival, how big or small. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, like I mean, it's not a real rivalry because it's been so lopsided, but we got to win this game. So we definitely got to win this game. Um, but appreciate you, man. We're gonna call it a quits, man. So next week, man, come back and talk about the game, and then we could talk about a little about the playoffs. So, man, if you ain't got no last words on this game, sure, we'll see you next week.
oh, so we can, uh, yeah, hey, see you next week, and I'm looking forward to like previewing your playoff loss. In the first round, looking forward to that preview, and regardless of what happens in this game, we'll definitely come back and talk about it. So it's
Oh
all
yeah,
good.
we definitely gonna come back and talk about that. What 11? No, we won 11. So that 12th game in a row that you lost. So, um, but yeah, man, we up out of here, man. If y'all like and subscribe, man. If y'all been watching, hit that like button. Subscribe because we come on Tuesdays too. So at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and we're starting to come out just periodically throughout the week, once in a while. So just hit that notification button. And man, yeah, and check us out, man. Appreciate you, Ian, man. You know, it's all love at the end of the day. So appreciate you, man.